بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين. أيها الأخوة والأخوات، أهلا بكم مرة أخرى في الحلقة رقم 9. اليوم الحلقة رقم 9 إن شاء الله. And in it we will continue our discussion of the verb be, its form and its use. Okay? And we'll start immediately, just like as usual. Okay, verb be. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Okay, now we are going to discuss the negative with be, negative, all right? How do we make negative sentences using be? Well, we use not. We use not, the word not, to make a sentence negative. We use the word not to make a sentence negative, okay? And to make negative sentences with be, use not after what? After am, is, are, or their contracted forms. And here are the contracted forms. Am, with I, of course, we use am, and they have s, is. This is am, is, are. And these are the contracted forms of the, of course, the verb be, am, is, and are. And with this, for example, say am, and he's, and there. Be and not can also be contracted, and I think we have looked at some examples. Note that I am has only one contraction with be, but there are two contractions with be for the rest of the pronouns, and we'll look at the examples there. So examples are next. Negative with be. Again, not makes a sentence negative. Okay. Negative in regular forms. In regular forms, you say, I am not a teacher. You are not a student. He is not a student. She is not a student. It is not a pen. And for plural, we are not happy. They are not happy. That's not, of course, this is all regular. No contractions. Okay? Negative in contracted forms. Okay. Again, mufrad wa jama', or singular and plural. I'm not a teacher. I'm not. And notice here that we have the short form of am and the verb be, and the word not. Okay? So the short form of the verb be, am, so I'm not a teacher. And we do not say I amn't. That's wrong. With you, for one person, you're not a student. You're not a student. And you aren't a student. We can do that in two different ways. We can say you're not a student or you aren't a student. Here, we put together the verb be with the subject, okay, with the subject you, and here we put together the verb be with the word not. So this is contracted here, a contraction here. So we can have two types of contractions. Okay? And he's not a student, he isn't a student. She's not a banker. Okay? She isn't a banker. Ahmed's not an accountant. Or Ahmed isn't an accountant. It's not a pen. It isn't a pen. Plural. You're not bankers. You aren't bankers. We're not employees. We aren't employees. They're not customers. They aren't customers. Ahmed and Khalid are not here. Ahmed and Khalid, or Ahmed and Khalid, aren't here. Okay? All right. Now, of course, let me just explain something here. We said that we have two types of contractions. One, we have the verb be with the subject put together, and the other type is, or the other kind is that we have the verb be with the word not, with the word not. Now we want to discuss the use of the article a and an. That's very simple, I think. So use these articles with singular nouns. We use them with singular nouns. So we use a in short words, in front of words. We use a in front of words that begin with consonants. And consonants are sounds like b, s, or k here, of course. We have k, b. This is the letter C, but it is, of course, the sound k, and l. All right, and here it's s. We say city, and then f, the, and b. So we say Ziyad is a businessman. Saudi Arabia is a country. Arabic is a language. Mecca is a city. A rose, this is a, of course, because the first sound in the word rose is r. You say a rose is a flower. A carrot is a vegetable. A chicken is a bird. So that's a. And an, we use an in front of words that begin with vowels. We use an in front of words that begin with vowels. Vowels are sounds like, for example, here, E, and then A, and then A, and then that word, insect, right? All right, and here, of course, apple, right? And engineer, article, examples. Let me read them. I'm an engineer. I'm an engineer. Salim is an accountant. A cat is an animal. A bee is an insect. An apple is a fruit. My friend is an engineer. My friend is an engineer. All right? A is an article. All right? A is an article. So a in front, of course, of words that begin with consonants, and an, right, in front of words that begin with vowels. And again, we use a and an only with singular nouns. We have to keep that in mind. We use them, all right, with singular nouns, not with plural. Okay, the verb be, all right, here, can also be used with, right, for adjectives, with adjectives. The subject you can have the subject, the verb be, and adjective. This is one of the forms, of course, of the verb be. An adjective is a word that describes a noun or a pronoun. Adjectives often follow a form of be. A form of be can be am, is, or are. Adjectives describe or give information about a noun or pronoun that comes at the beginning of a sentence. Examples: be, right, plus, the subject plus be plus an adjective. So this is an apple, right? And what color is it? We say it is red. So the apple, we can put it here, the apple is red. We have the subject, the apple, the verb be, is, and the adjective red. Okay, noun, be, adjective. Examples: a ball is round. Balls are round. Balls here, of course, plural, so we use are. Aisha is intelligent. Aisha and Ali are intelligent. Apples are good for you. Apples, that's plural again, are good for you, good for you. And here, of course, notice that we have the noun first in green, then you have the verb be in blue color, and then you have the adjectives in red. Okay, the adjectives in red color. Okay, and then we can also have a pronoun plus be plus an adjective, such as I am hungry. She is young. He is old. It is small. You are smart. That's for singular, one person. You are smart, for two or more. We are fast. they are slow. Right? Something about the noun or pronoun. The noun or pronoun that comes at the beginning of a sentence is called subject. So these words in green color and here, these are nouns and these are pronouns. These are nouns, all of these, the ball, okay, balls, Aisha and Ali, apples, these are nouns. And of course some names again here. And pronouns, I, she, he, it, you for singular, you for plural, we and they, all of these are pronouns, and the nouns and plural, the nouns and pronouns always come at the beginning of a sentence, of course, in affirmative sentences, right? So we call them subjects when they are at the beginning, right? So the noun or pronoun that comes at the beginning of a sentence is called subject, okay? We also use be with place, all right? A place may be one word, like for example here, there, inside, or a prepositional phrase, like at the party, or in his room. A prepositional phrase, what is it? What is a prepositional phrase? A prepositional phrase basically, all right, consists of or is composed of a preposition plus a noun, okay? All right, let's look at examples. This is a place. It's a place here. It's a house. This is a house, all right? And we'll have some examples. Subject, right? Be and place. Khalid is what? Of course, we can say Khalid is here, Khalid is there, Khalid is downstairs, Khalid is upstairs, Khalid is inside, Khalid is outside, Khalid is downtown. Okay, so subject, verb be, and the place. And all of these are just, okay, in each example, of course, here we have one word, all right? It's all one word. And here we have the subject, the verb be, and a PP, that's a prepositional phrase. It's a prepositional phrase, of course, as we said, it's the a preposition and a noun. So Khalid is at the library, on the bus, in his room, at work, next to Ali, at home. All right, all of these are prepositional phrases. And here we're going, of course, at singular. All of these examples are for the singular. This is singular. Because when we have plural in this slide, okay, look, subject, be, place, the boys, that's plural. The boys are, and we use the verb are because we have the boys here. The boys are here. The boys are there. The boys are downstairs. The boys are upstairs. The boys are inside. The boys are outside. The boys are downtown. And the subject be and PP for plural. The boys are at the library, on the bus. All right, so the boys are in their rooms, right? And the boys are at work, and the boys are next to Ali, and the boys are at home. This is, of course, plural. This is plural. All of these examples are in plural form. Okay, and now let's look at some examples, of course, or some practice here, using be with a place, of course. And you can see these are boxes, right? These are boxes. And this is a ball. This is another one. All of these are balls, but they are placed somewhere, okay? You know, here, for example, where is it? Where is the ball? Is it on or is it in the box? And here and here. And we wanted to basically tell where the ball is, okay? And here it is on. We say it's on the box, right? Here it is in. Of course, you still can see it. If it is a regular box, it will be, of course, impossible to see it. And here it is next to. Here it is above. And this is under, this is between, right? This ball here is between the boxes. So on the box, in the box, next to the box, above the box, under the box, and between the boxes. Some common prepositions, of course, in English: above, or above, at, behind, between, from, in, next to, on, and under. All right, now time for practice, because it's very important. As I said, always we have to practice, because without practice, what we learn becomes kind of useless. So the first exercise is to write sentences with is, isn't, are, and aren't, and give the given information, of course. Yeah, the given information. For example, here, so we need to write sentences again with is, isn't, are, and aren't, and the given information. You have Africa, and then you have city. Africa, city, it, continent. Now we need to make a sentence here, right? We would say, what is it? What is Africa? Is it a city? We want to use, by the way, either is or isn't, are or aren't in the case of plural. So Africa, then, isn't a city. What is it then? It's a continent. It's a continent. Africa isn't a city, right? It's a continent. What about Baghdad? Baghdad and Chicago. Baghdad and Chicago, city, and they, continent. First, of course, because we know that they are not, of course, continents. They are cities. So we say Baghdad and Chicago. Baghdad and Chicago are cities. They aren't continents. They aren't continents. And these are just examples. Now, what about the first one now? Canada, country, it, city. Think about it. Is Canada a country? Yes, of course. So Canada is a country. It isn't a city. So we need to basically look at the information that comes right after the noun here. If it is, of course, a country, we say it is a country. If it is not, then we say it is not. Here, it isn't a city, of course, because Canada is a country. Canada is a country. It isn't a city. And I think you know how to do the rest. Jakarta, country. You know what Jakarta is. It's the capital of Indonesia. Jakarta and country. It, city. So Jakarta isn't a country. It's a city. It's a city because it's one of the cities in Indonesia. Okay? Let's continue this exercise. Same exercise. Beijing and London, city, they, country. Beijing and London are cities, of course, and they're not countries, or they aren't countries. Asia, country, it, continent. Is Asia a country, or is it a continent? Of course, Asia isn't a country, it's a continent. Asia isn't a country, it's a continent. And then Asia and South America, continent. Continent? And of course, they are. Asia and South America are continents. They aren't countries. They aren't countries. All right. And exercise number 2, you complete the sentences, use a or an. Okay? Use a or an. The first one is done for you. For example, here, a horse is an animal. This exercise is about the use of, is to practice the use of the articles a and an. Again, notice the word or the noun here, horse, it's singular, so we use a. And here, it's also singular, and we use an, because the first sound that, of course, starts this word, the first sound in this word is a, right? An animal, okay? A horse is an animal. English is, notice the first sound in the word language, and it's le, so it has to be a. Right? So English is a language, Tokyo is a city, right? Australia is a country, red is a color, a dictionary is a book, and then a hotel is a building. And what about bear? Okay, a bear is an animal because, again, that's animal. Bee, right? A bee is an insect. A bee is an insect. And an ant, right? Because the first sound here is a. An ant is an insect as well. All right, exercise 3. Complete the sentences. Use a or an and the words, right, in the list. Here you have in the list you have the words animal, city, country, and insect, language, and sport. All right. The first one, Arabic is a language. So we need to basically complete these sentences and choose one of these words in this box: animal, city, country, insect, language, sport. All right. Rome is a city. A cat is an animal. Tennis is a sport. Chicago is a city. Spanish is a language. All right. Mexico is a country. A cow is an animal. A fly is an insect. China is, well, baseball is a sport. China is a country. Russian is a language. Russian is a language. All right, so we have a before language, a before city, because the first sound of the word city is s, and here animal, the first sound of the word animal is a, it's a vowel, right? Here it is consonant, vowel, so we have an with vowel, and when we have the first sound in the word that comes after the article is a consonant, we have a, right? And or after that article. If it is a vowel, the first sound that comes after the article, this indefinite article, if this first sound is a vowel, then it is an and not a. So an animal, an insect, a sport, a country, a language. In fact, here, you cannot, or it's kind of difficult to say a cow is an animal, right? Or a fly is a insect. That's not correct. That is not correct, right? It's hard to say that, actually. So so that's why we add this n sound right before. All right, exercise number 4, you change the singular sentences to plural sentences. You change them to plural sentences. Look at the first one here. An ant. An ant. And I think with this exercise, we'll do it in the next lesson. In lesson number 10, inshallah, we will start that. So with this exercise, we come to the end of session number 9. We'll complete the exercises in session number 10. Shukran. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.